Go ahead and begin with Grant Ramey, Mike Wilson, then Rob Lewis.
How special were those your two freshmen in the second half? What kind of changed there?
Hold on, guys. That's my mistake. I've got our audio off here. All right, go ahead with that first question one more time.
What was in the second half where Jaden and Keon took over? What were they doing differently down the stretch?
Well, obviously we started the game, too many fouls early and got ourselves in trouble there where we were having to work from that. But what we did in the second half is what we were trying to get done in the first half, trying to get going downhill, 94 feet. And I thought those guys got in a rhythm there where you could just feel that they had that attack mode. And the last couple of days in practice, all we have talked about is run, and get out in transition, try to get easy baskets, just try to get teams back on their heels as much as we can. And but the second half, really, I thought a big key in the second half. I think the last 6-7 minutes was Josiah did a nice job on Brooks because he was having his way with us. We're getting stretched out too much, but really proud of the guys. I thought that second half they came out and really what I got on to them at halftime, I said, I want you guys to listen. Now, I wasn't very happy at halftime only because we weren't listening when we were coming out of timeouts and not doing the things that we wanted to do. And I said, you guys will listen, execute, we'll give ourselves a chance. And they did, and I'm really proud of them for doing that.
Yeah, Rick, I mean, speaking about timeouts, kind of that under 12, right before the under 12, you took a timeout down 10. What was your message at that point, and was it well received?
Well, it was because I told him, I said, hey, guys, I'll tell you over and over, when you're down, you can't, we had 2 back-to-back turnovers, ridiculous turnovers. I said, we can't get back in the game. If we're going to keep turning the ball over, we got to get stops. We got to get a shot every time. And both times we tried to pass the ball in tight quarters, and all we had to do is turn around behind us, and we had guys that could shoot the ball that were waiting, and we just made poor decisions there. But and that's what it got down to, just trying to again, when you're down 10, you can't turn the ball over back to back like that. But we worked through it, and is a game of 2 different halves. Obviously, them in the first half, I think they got to the free throw line 13 or out of 15. In the second half, we were able to get there.
Coach, with Keon, we've seen Jaden kind of be disaggressive or close to it, but Keon nowhere close to as aggressive as he was tonight. Was that based off a conversation you had with him, or was that just Fulke being in foul trouble? He felt like he had to do it. Where did that come from?
I think it's based off the fact that we've showed them enough tape where when we want to drive the ball, how many times they stop themselves. And even the play when he went in there and blocked, believe me, that was a great Keon Johnson play to show that, hey, I'm going, and they blocked and it didn't phase him. That's what we've asked him to do. We've asked Jaden, Josiah, VJ could have dunked the ball twice tonight. Again, too many times we stop ourselves when we're driving. And some of it is the fact that it's a different style than we've played in the past. I mean, we still have John and Eve, but that is not effective. This is what we always felt we could do with those guys once they figured it out. And hopefully tonight they did. We thought we might have had some things figured out after the Kansas game, and we came back and didn't do what we wanted in terms of being aggressive. But I'm just really proud of those guys because, again, hopefully they understand that they're more capable of doing more than they probably have up to this point.
Ryan Schumpert, Nicholas Hill, and Wes Rucker.
What was the difference in the defense from that first 30 minutes to the last 10? And then second question, Jaden had just taken 7 threes in SEC play going into the night and took 4 in the first half. Was that an effort from you guys or just how the game was going?
Well, to be quite honest, I got upset with 2 of them because at that point in time we were behind and we needed to get to the foul line. I mean, when you're down like that, and I said, I don't mind the one pass threes, one, inside out threes, but jab, step back, jab, raise up at that point in time in the game. And I like the way he responded at halftime because I got at him a little bit and said, hey man, this is a learning situation right now. And we got, you guys work on shooting. We got to understand game time, clock, shot, situation, all that. And I thought he really responded in the second half. He had 2 questions. What was the other one? And I think in the second, Josiah did a much better job. Brooks had his way. He had 22 points, I think, with 7 minutes to go in the game. I don't know what he ended up with. But
23.
He ended up with 23. But Josiah was big on. He and Pons both on the other end were big.
Kind of going off the last question, it definitely seemed like early on that Kentucky was able to get to the rim whenever they wanted. Just how important was it for your defense to be able to protect the lane there, especially in the last fourth of the game?
Well, they got there, we got in foul trouble, and they're a well-coached team. I mean, when you get to the double bonus as quick as they did, I mean, you're going to drive the ball, and it puts you back on your heels on the defensive end where you're, I'm saying, hey, we can't keep giving them foul shots. We got to make them earn some things, and that makes you a little bit tentative. And, we had some guys, we played guys, and but I think you got to give them some credit for that too. They were doing it, but we're getting spread out a little bit too much, more than we wanted to be. But again, we kept talking about our gaps, getting in our gaps quicker and helping. But too many times, I thought in the first half we were leaving guys alone, where they were either being isolated off of post move back to the basket, or letting guys get coming downhill. And they run good offense now. They run some things that are hard to defend.
Rick, I know that every game counts the same, right, in league play. But this game, Kentucky, this is a game that means a lot to Tennessee. The success y'all have had, how much do you think that's meant to this fan base? I mean, I think that's 6 out of 9 in this series for y'all.
Well, every game does mean it, and I think we all know that Kentucky is our rival. I don't think there's any question about that. I'm not sure I even knew it when I got here, but people let me know real quick how important the Kentucky-Tennessee rivalry has been, starting way back in the 60s, and then from the time that Bernard King spoke to our team. Eve Pons and John Fulkerson heard of his comments about Kentucky, and so I get it. I know what it means to Tennessee, being 3.5 hours south, and playing over all these years. But at this point in time, you all know how much respect I have for John and his program and the way they do things. But I'm just happy for our guys. I'm happy for Eve Pons and John Fulkerson. Those guys have had a chance to come up here and win some games. But other than that, and I realize our fan base, they love it. They do, and I get it. But you've got a lot more that we can do.
With the way that things went there down the stretch, with Keon and Jaden doing what they did, can things like that happen sometimes just when you need them? Like, guys don't understand that they have to do something until, Fulke's in foul trouble and Eve's not hitting shots at first, and they just have to do it.
Well, I can see some of that, and I think sometimes I'll go back and I believe this. I think it's true of Kentucky. I think it's true of us. I think it's true of all universities, basketball programs that are playing freshmen. It's not a typical year. It's not. You would think that without having the full summer, I can tell you, I think Keon and Jaden are getting into the kind of shape that I think they would have been in a month and a half ago if things were normal. Tonight, both of them took themselves out of some games, but I will tell you this, they played longer and harder tonight than they've played since they've been at Tennessee. We would have been a month and a half, as would Kentucky and teams that play these guys. I mean, so it has taken these young guys, and again, I think John would tell you the same thing, longer to get to understand what goes into this. But tonight, those guys did play through fatigue, which they haven't always done that. They've been willing to take themselves out. I must have asked them each one 2 or 3 times, are you okay? I don't have to ask. The only other guy I might say that to is Eve, because he's out there so much, but no one else. And they kept saying, I'm good, coach, I'm good. And in the past, they would say, give me one. So I think that's a big step for those guys. And now the real big step will be, can we count on them to bring that kind of level of fire every night from here on out?
Finish up with Ben, Trey, and Madison.
Coach, you had 6 players with 2 fouls. 6 players with 2 fouls at halftime. Have you experienced something like that before? And what do you think the root of the problem was with the foul trouble?
Well, I've experienced that and probably worse. I think that we came out, our guys they were wanting to play, and I thought we were too aggressive, too physical, and we've talked about where we haven't at times been physical, and I think tonight, I'm not arguing with one of those calls. I think that every call that was made was a legit call, and I told them, and some of them they happen in bang situations, but some of them, like Santi's right in front of me, that's a ridiculous foul. No reason to foul right there. But again, I think I'm not denying any of those fouls. I haven't seen them all, didn't watch it, but during the game, I didn't. A couple times, not that the fouls they called I thought were fouls. I just was thinking, hey, maybe we need some of those, but so I'm not going to question anything those officials did, because again, I thought early the ones they did call that I saw were fouls on us.
Rick, how key was it for you? And did you talk to your players about driving the basket, getting fouls compared to shooting the 3-point shot? What were those conversations like in the second half, especially during that run?
That conversation has gone on for 6-7 weeks about driving the ball and not stopping. You know, go until you're stopped. Go, be ready to play off 2 feet. And so, yeah, we've been talking about that for a long time. And tonight, I thought the difference was I thought we were bringing it from 94 feet, getting it going, bringing the ball down the court with some speed, getting going. And so, but with these guys, and not just the 2 freshmen, but VJ. I mean, VJ had a chance to go down the lane tonight and finish a couple plays. And that's what we'll keep showing them, but and it plays right to those guys' strengths. And we just need to get consistent with it.
Coach, you touched on it a little bit, but it's never easy to win at Rupp Arena. But after tonight, you became the only active head coach in the nation with 3 wins at Rupp. What does that mean to you as a head coach?
It means that we've come up here with some good basketball teams, good players, and guys that have had to, a year ago we were down, I think 16 with 11 minutes to go, and came back, and that was one of the great comebacks that I've been a part of. And tonight we were down 10, but at halftime, but the credit goes to the players. I mean, they were out there, and you saw them tonight. It was fun watching them play like that from where I was. I'm telling you, it really was. I mean, I just love the way they got locked into the game. They were oblivious to everything that was going on other than what went on between the lines. And again, I'm just excited for those guys, and excited for our fan base.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.